All right, we are back now in our studio kitchen, once again joined by registered dietitian Nicole Pazdziorko from Food City. She's got some important information today, certainly for diabetics, but really for all of us to try to cut down on some of that sugar.
Yes, you're so right. And we were talking a little bit about quality carbohydrates. One aspect of that is reducing added sugars in our diet. Another aspect is increasing the fiber in our diet, because most Americans do not get enough fiber intake. For most American adults, we should be getting about 25 to 30 grams per day. And so that benefits all Americans, but especially for people with diabetes, it can help to manage our blood sugars. Plus, fiber is kind of the non-digestible plant component, structural component of plant foods. So it's not going to be found in meat and dairy products, so increasing our fruits and vegetables is going to help with that.
Yep, fiber, I was reading, is actually like proactive. It works for you.
Yes, yeah, for a bunch of reasons. So it can promote gut health, but also with digestion, yes, blood sugar, and it helps to keep us feel.
All right, and fiber comes in a lot of different ways, as we're seeing here.
Yes, absolutely. As I mentioned, it's in plant foods only, unless it's added into something like a dairy product, but it's going to be found in whole grains specifically. So when you hear the word whole grain, think whole package. So that kernel has the fiber-filled bran, and so you can find that in brown rice, quinoa, oatmeal. If you want to start your breakfast meal with some oatmeal and some fresh fruit, that's going to be a great solution. And whole wheat bread and whole wheat pasta is going to be a source as well.
Okay, so just really watching our labels, and I love that you said that oatmeal, because I think a lot of people are into that overnight oats or granola, so we've got some of those.
Yes, and you can incorporate them at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which I love. Another component to look for is the word whole in the ingredient list, but then I also love using Pick Well labels at Food City, so you can find whole grain foods easily.
Yeah, I love those labels.
Yes.
Makes it so much better.
The yellow tag.
Okay, and then coming into over here?
So beans and legumes are going to be another great source of fiber as well as protein. I recommend incorporating it as part of a soup or a salad. A half a cup is going to provide like 6 to 7 grams of fiber, which is almost 30% of what you need in the day. So that's going to be a great option. I also love nuts and seeds as a way to incorporate more fiber along with some healthy fats. Great options for snacking, or again as a kind of topping on some yogurt or oatmeal in the morning.
Okay, and I'm loving these. These, if you're going to reach for a granola bar, you got to really read the labels.
Yeah, we talked about that in the no added sugar, so this is kind of great. It's hitting both sides of that coin.
Yes, absolutely. All right, and then we've got some fruits.
So you can never go wrong with incorporating more fruits and vegetables. Not only are those going to provide more vitamins and minerals, but yes, they have that fiber component. Now fruits, you want to look for whole fruits, but that can be in canned, frozen, or fresh form. What you really want to stay away from if you're looking for that fiber component is juice. Not that that's a bad thing, but if you're looking for the fiber, juice isn't going to provide that for you. The same thing with vegetables. Whole form is going to be better, but you can use fresh, frozen, or canned. Just watch out for added sauces, butters, cheeses, and stuff.
And like you said, always reading your labels and knowing, because you can cut down on syrups and sugars and things like that by reading your labels.
Yes, yep. And then look for the no sugar added, look for low sodium. Dietitian's Pick is going to kind of hit all of that. It's going to hit the sodium. If it's a grain product, it's going to hit the whole grain as well.
And of course, we know when it comes to diabetes, being able to manage your diabetes with foods like this, so important for your overall health and wellness.
Yes, absolutely. And it really comes down to those simple swaps, because there is no real true diabetes diet. It is more about a healthy eating pattern that you can sustain across the lifespan to help manage those blood sugars through consistent meals throughout the day. And the more fiber you can incorporate into those meals, the better off you'll be.
And of course, you mentioned sustainability and all of the things that you kind of gave us today, those sugar swaps, those ways to read your labels, makes it sort of easy to kind of take those baby steps into a different lifestyle.
Oh, 100%, absolutely. And making kind of easy swaps where you're incorporating still some of your favorite foods, and then maybe adding in a little bit. A tip that I love to do is maybe half whole wheat pasta, half white. That can be an easy way to transition into more whole grains.
That's nice, because sometimes it is a little bit different whether you have a family that's very used to just your regular pasta or your regular rice, to kind of introduce them to some of the brown rice.
Yeah, absolutely. That, or even just one meal a day. If you can't stomach the whole wheat pasta, maybe you can do oatmeal for breakfast.
oatmeal for breakfast. That's one of my favorites, overnight oats. All right, well, wonderful to have you on the show.
Thank you.
We do have some news to pass along. We are so excited. We've been talking, obviously, a lot about the relief plan that they have done, and Food City did do that check presentation this morning. We have the total. We're going to show you some pictures coming up later in the show, but we do want to pass along the total: $2,131,703.37. That's incredible. That is wonderful. We're going to tell you more about that coming up a little later on in the show, and for more information as well on the Pick Well program, you can visit foodcity.com.